Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are going to decode one of the most vital, and let's be honest, often mysterious systems in your home, your HVAC. Yep, that's heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Think of this as your personal guide to mastering the machine that keeps you comfortable, so you are never, ever left in the cold or the sweltering heat. You know that feeling, right? That little spark of panic. One second you're perfectly comfortable, and the next, bam, you're facing a full-blown crisis. And it's way more than just an inconvenience. We're talking about your home's livability suddenly being on the line. And that's the moment when really understanding your system becomes absolutely crucial. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to take you from that moment of crisis to feeling completely in control. First, we'll dive into what's at stake. Then we'll play detective and decode your home symptoms. After that, we tackle the big one, repair or replace. We'll even walk you through what to expect when you call a pro, and finally, look beyond just the immediate fix. So, when your system goes down, it's not just about being a little too hot or too cold. No, we're talking about serious, extreme temperature swings, maybe crazy high humidity. It's a high-stress situation that really messes with your safety, your wallet, and for sure, your peace of mind. Okay, so let's shift gears now. It's time to go from crisis mode into detective mode. You know, your HVAC system almost always gives you little warning signs before it completely gives up the ghost. Learning to listen to these symptoms, that's your absolute first line of defense. So let's start with some of the most common clues. Are you hearing weird noises? You know, clanking, grinding, or squealing sounds that definitely weren't there yesterday? Or maybe one part of the house feels like a sauna, while another feels like an icebox. These are classic signs something's up. And here's what's so interesting. Those strange noises, they're often screaming, hey, the blower motor or some other mechanical part is about to fail. And those hot and cold spots, well, that could be a huge sign that you've got leaky or blocked ductwork, which means all that nice cool or warm air just isn't getting where it needs to go. Here's another one that drives people absolutely bonkers. Your air conditioner seems to be running nonstop, the air feels kind of cool, but you still feel all muggy and uncomfortable in your own home. So what in the world is going on? Well, here's the secret. Your AC actually has two jobs. It's supposed to cool the air and pull humidity out of it. So if you're still feeling sticky, it might be low on refrigerant, the evaporator coils could be dirty, or, and this is a big one, the unit might actually be too big for your house. That causes it to turn on and off too fast to properly dehumidify the air. It's called short cycling. Okay, this next symptom, this one hits you right in the wallet. You haven't changed a thing about your habits, but your monthly energy bill just shot through the roof. More often than not, your HVAC system is the #1 suspect. And this is just a perfect example of how inefficiency costs you real money. Things like dirty coils, a motor that's struggling to keep up, or leaky ducts, all of them force the system to run longer and work way harder just to keep the temperature you set. It's basically working overtime, and trust me, you're paying for every single extra minute. Okay, so you've diagnosed the symptoms. Now comes the really big question, the one that can feel pretty overwhelming. Do you pour more money into fixing this old unit, or is it finally time to bite the bullet and invest in a new one? Well, to help you figure this out, a lot of pros use a handy rule of thumb. It's called the $5,000 rule. It's a really simple little calculation that can cut through all that uncertainty and give you a clear, data-driven answer. This is a big one, so you'll want to remember it. Here's exactly how it works. You take the age of your unit, in years, and you multiply it by the estimated cost of the repair. So let's say you have a 15-year-old system and you get a quote for a $400 repair. You just multiply 15 times 400, that gives you $6,000. And since that number is over $5,000, this rule is telling you that replacement is probably the smarter financial move. And of course, a little context makes this all make sense. The average lifespan for an AC is about 15 to 17 years. A furnace can sometimes last up to 20. Knowing where your system is in that life cycle helps you see why the $5,000 rule works. It keeps you from sinking good money into a system that's already on its last legs anyway. So, you've made the call and it's time to bring in a professional. I know this part can cause a lot of anxiety for people. What should you expect? What are your rights as a homeowner? Don't worry, we're going to demystify the whole process for you right now. Look, any quality service call should follow 4 very clear steps. It starts with your first call and the dispatch. Next, the technician does a thorough diagnosis and actually explains the problem to you in plain English. And then, this is the most important part. They give you an upfront price that you have to approve before any work begins. And only then do they do the repair and verify that everything's working right. Please remember this. You should never be surprised by a bill at the end. A reputable company will give you the total final price for the repair before they even pick up a screwdriver. If a technician wants to start working without giving you that fixed price first, that is a major, major red flag. We've navigated the crisis, which is great. But the real goal here is to avoid ending up in that mess in the first place. This last part is all about shifting your mindset from just putting out fires to actually preventing them from ever starting. And this just lays it out so perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you've got preventative maintenance. We're talking low cost, low stress, and a much longer life for your system. And on the other side, emergency repairs. High cost, high stress, and every one of those major failures can actually shorten your system's overall lifespan. I mean, the choice is pretty clear. A tune-up isn't just someone taking a quick look. A real pro is going to perform a bunch of critical checks. They'll inspect electrical connections to prevent fires, measure refrigerant levels to make sure it's efficient, clean the coils, test the safety controls. These are the small, proactive steps that catch those tiny issues before they explode into catastrophic and really expensive failures. So we'll end with a question for you to really think about. After all this, think about your own system back home. Is it a well-oiled machine that you understand and take care of? Or is it a ticking time bomb just waiting for the absolute worst possible moment to fail? The choice and the control is now in your hands.